Hey and welcome to this go-to guide for if you're thinking about starting a wrestling based pic fed or stop motion show. This is something that a few people have wanted me to do for a while, and while I've done similar videos about this in the past, such as my behind the scenes video, this is a less rambly, more concise and simplified guide for any of you out there who want to start a pic fed or stop motion show but have no idea where to start. This is even a video for people who have no desire to start their own show, but maybe are interested in how I go about doing it. I'll split this guide into sections. Section 1 is going to be writing the show, Section 2 is going to be making the show, and Section 3 is going to be editing the show. So if you want to skip ahead to any of those sections, go ahead, but I'm going to go through things step by step. That just makes it easier to understand. So now that I've covered writing storylines, that was step 1, now let's move on to the next step, which is filming your show. Now you've written your show, it's time to actually make the thing. First of all, your arena. Here's the essential list of equipment. First, a scale wrestling ring. You'll have no room for poses in a smaller ring, so invest in a larger one. Second, an entranceway. This could be one made by Mattel or one you've made yourself. My NLW set is literally made out of cardboard. The bottom is bent around and a simple rectangle is placed on top. And then the metal stage is a box, literally just a box. And then the Jax stage put in front of that. You know, it's not complicated at all. One key tip as well. Do not draw your logos. Use Photoshop or Paint to make and print logos for your shows, it'll look a lot less tacky. Remember to not undersell the importance of presentation. Third off, your background. This could be one from Extreme Sets, a print out of a crowd, or even just a simple plain black or white poster board. Remember, you don't want to make the show on a living room floor with the TV in the background, it just takes away from the illusion. Try and put your arena on a table as well, so that you can stand. Bending to take shots hurts your back after a while, trust me, I used to. So now that you've got your arena set up, the most important thing to consider is lighting. This is key. A poorly lit pic fed or stop motion will make everyone not want to watch, no matter how good the stories or poses are. I suggest using a standalone photography lamp. 2 would be better to eliminate shadows, but you could likely get away with just using the 1. And also, don't use natural light. It's not consistent and it makes it obvious when you've stopped filming. Just look at the difference between poses here and see how much difference lighting makes to your show. It makes it look a whole lot more professional. Next up, the camera you're going to use. Personally, I use a Canon PowerShot A2300 HD, which is a very old at this point, but really any HD camera would work well. Use a tripod to take pictures. This is mine, just a simple Amazon Basics one. It's a sturdy choice. I also have a smaller tripod to take close-ups. This decreases the likelihood of shaky or blurry shots, obviously essential to stop motion, but I would highly recommend you use it for pic fed as well. One key tip when you're filming, make sure to check your photos after taking them, in case they're out of focus or blurry in any way. Now that you've got your equipment, let's move on to the actual making of the show. Let's start with posing. For example, I'm going to start with a match between John Cena and Mankind. Ensure that you frame the shot well. For example, keep the wrestlers centered like this, not like this where a big portion of the shot is bare. Make sure to consider the movement of each limb as well. For example, this clothesline is much more rigid and lifeless compared to this, where I've made sure to consider the movement of all the joints. And it may not be perfect, but it still makes a big difference compared to before. Again, watch the differences between these guitar strikes. See how much better the second sequence looks once all the joints are considered, compared to the first one, which is rigid and lifeless. This goes for stop motion as well as pic fed. In terms of length, try and have matches go between 2 and 4 minutes, I'd say. Maybe save the longer matches for the pay-per-views, but don't make them too short. Otherwise, you know, it's really difficult to tell stories in such a short amount of time. And as it pertains to planning out a match, write your match down move for move. Don't blag it while photographing. This structure is typically how I'd lay out a match. Start with the finish and work from there. This is so the match has a steady flow so you can plan ahead. I recommend watching matches of the wrestlers in the match you're making. For example, watch how Sami Zayn sells compared to The Undertaker. What way does John Cena move compared to Daniel Bryan? Not only that, but watching wrestling moves in slow motion helps with posing and animation. I'd always advise having a reference for match layout and how people move. For example, look at some of the better matches of the year between people like AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, matches like that. See how it's paced and incorporate that into your own animation or pic fed. Now next up, I'm not gonna lie, I cheat this part. It can be the most frustrating thing of all. I'm talking about string. This is used for moves in the air, or if a wrestler leaves their feet. I used to use this invisible fishing wire, as you don't usually see it in photos. Tie a string circle and wrap it around the arms and legs of a wrestler if you want to use that. For a more concise explanation on how to use string, check out the LKS string theory video, it helps a lot and explains string theory very well. On the other hand, you could cheat like I do and hold the wrestler in the air out of shot. However, if you do take this shortcut, make sure that your hand is never in the shot. One thing that could also help are these small little rubber bands that are invisible. For example, when filming a suplex or power slam, you can use these to attach the wrestlers together to keep them in place for posing. Finally, I'll say that there is no time frame for how long a match should take to make. Don't rush it is what I would say. Take your time and remember, it most likely won't look great the first time you try, but if it does, more power to you, I guess. Practice makes perfect, and once you find a way of working that works for you, the time it takes to make a show will become less as you improve over time. Let me know if there's anything I've missed out or if there's any more questions you want answered, and I'll try and get back to you. For now, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.